everyone, and welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Natasha from Crafting Extreme Love, and I am all about the pretty paper. Here on this channel, I share anything from paper crafting for planners, like everyday creative planning, memory planning, which I'm going to show you today, and also traveler's notebooks. I do all types of paper crafting projects. I also enjoy creative journaling, but I'm yet to share some of those videos, but we'll see. Anyways, this video is in collaboration with Rachel over at the Life Facilitator. I've talked about her before in a few of my channels. She is a sweet dear friend who also is an avid memory planner, and both Rachel and I have been memory planning for some time now, and we love it, and we want to encourage everyone, no matter what your life looks like right now, especially during pandemic, there is always something good to highlight, and also too for the not so good stuff. They also deserve an opportunity to be remembered. It's cheesy, but those tough times help us appreciate the good days even more. So each video that we're gonna have, it's gonna be Memory Planning Monday, and there'll be a theme for each video that we do. Today is all about Heidi Swapp's Storyline Chapters collection, and I recently snagged these from scrapbook.com, and I'm obsessed with these colors. And I told Rachel we have to do this one first, because I'm getting some happy mail, and I know that I'm gonna want to go ahead and play with these. So I will be using the planner stickers, which I ended up removing from some of the packaging that they had to get rid of like the clear plastic part of it, and then I just re-stapled it at the top here. Make sure I just didn't staple through anything. And then I've got the 6x8 paper pad, which I love these 6x8 paper pads because especially the scale is small, which really does well in a planner, whereas the 12x12 can get a little overwhelming with the scale of the prints. So this really works for memory planners, along with traveler's notebooks, mini albums. I'm sure you can even use this on a 12x12 layout too. There's no rules stopping you. As I said, there's no rules in scrapbooking, just to have fun, right? So this sheet of paper that you see that I pulled directly from the paper pad is going to be my point of inspiration. I absolutely adore the colors and just that watercolor look. I do love watercoloring myself, but sometimes using designed supplies such as this allows me to get that messy, artsy look without the mess. So I'm going to use these strips of paper that I'm going to tear out, and I am going to be building monochromatic clusters around the colors that are from the sheet of paper. Now I just have this paper pad and the stickers, so I had this idea that I was going to use some stamps that I have in my collection along with some inks that I have that match this paper pretty perfectly. I also did recently snag some of these ink colors, so I was definitely really eager to get inky and create some visual depth and some more interest to my pages with utilizing stamping. With an art journaling background, I love the look of ripped paper. I like the texture of it, so I'm going ahead and ripping these sheets of paper into these strips. Now you'll see me kind of narrow the strips of paper down and making them shorter and just different lengths, once again just to keep it interesting. Now I don't have too much a rhyme or reason on the length, but I am trying to find colors that will draw out the colors of my photographs. So as you can see, the photo that I have on Wednesday has some blues and greens, so I've gone ahead and used the green sheet of paper for that cluster. Now you'll see I do place this brighter orange up by the Thursday and Friday section, but I am going to switch it, which you'll see right here. But I am pulling in now that color from the lily and that flower bouquet, also playing up on that orange as well. As mentioned in my intro there, I am going to use quite a bit of stamping in this video. I would consider myself a stamping beginner, but that does not stop me. I am not going for perfection when it comes to my stamping. I really just want to have fun and play around with pretty supplies. I definitely encourage you to give stamping a shot. It's something that I've really enjoyed, I want to say about for a year now. I was definitely afraid of stamps, and then I was like, you know what the heck am I waiting for? Like, it's no big deal. I can always slap a sticker on it if I truly dislike it that much. So I'm using these, I would say like a polka dot print, and it's actually from a Kelly Perky Condolences stamp set. But I'm going to use that to start adding those clusters of color around the paper strips. Now, I found some pretty good matches of ink to this collection, so I'll go ahead and list those below in case you're looking for some inks to add to your collection that would really work with this storyline chapters. Also, too, just they're really pretty, so why not? I think when you are new to memory planning or just memory keeping in general, sometimes coming up with color schemes can be a bit intimidating. You can always use the colors in your photos to help guide the colors that you're selecting for that layout. I definitely recommend trying monochromatic spreads like I've got going on this week. It's a really easy way to bring color to the page that's not too intimidating. You just have to find shades of that one specific color that are going to all come together. So you could even use just one of these, what do we have, 4 colors here, and just use one of them and use that for the whole week. And then the following week you could choose another color. I've done that before in planner layouts. It's a ton of fun, and I definitely recommend it. The first cluster that I'm going to work on is this yellow cluster at the bottom, and I saw this favorite moment sticker and I knew I had to use it. So this week is actually documenting my birthday week, and my partner had taken me out to dinner on Saturday night, and we were in a certain part of our area here where there are these endangered burrowing owls. So they actually live in burrows in the ground, and it's hard to see from this angle of the photo, but I actually have the owls right behind me, and I was freaking out. Talk about a nerd moment, but I have really grown to love birds, and seeing the local wildlife here is just super special. So that was definitely a favorite moment of mine of this week, and I thought these word strips were a ton of fun, like just being cool. I must be dreaming, so fun. I really enjoy using word strips to help do the journaling or tell part of the story to add on to my journaling. Everyone has their own personal style. There are some weeks that I do journal a bit more, but generally speaking, I do keep the journaling pretty brief. This is a classic sized happy planner, insert. It's actually from Light's Planner Action, but due to the size, I don't have a ton of room to journal. But to be honest, even if I had the space, I'm not too sure I would do a lot of journaling. I like I mentioned, really use those word strips to help tell the story, along with doing bullet points, which you'll see in some of the photos at the end when I do add my final journaling. I think that it's a good way to just get the details down on the page without feeling, for me, the pressure to like write a novel or something profound about my my week. At this point, you're going to see that once I get the color strip down, I am going to go ahead and I add some stickers from that sticker book, and then I'm going to also add some stamping. Watching this playback as I am editing, I realized I was a little all over the place. This was actually my first time filming a memory planning process video, and I had a ton of fun, but I really realized I am a little bit of a victim of the squirrel mentality, and all of a sudden I'm like, distracted by all the pretty things, and I'm gonna do one thing and then I end up doing the totally other thing. I don't know if that happens to anyone else while they're crafting, if they get distracted by themselves, but I definitely experienced that, and I see that it was definitely very present on Saturday. I would love to know if you feel like sharing in the comments below what your process is like. If you do memory plan, do you do a sketch beforehand? Do you really think through how you're going to set up the layout? If you can tell from my style here, outside of picking some products that I would like to use, I never really have too much of a plan. I'm most of the time going off the seat of my pants, and I have to say that part of the process I really love. Now that might make some people a little nervous and uncomfortable, and at the end of the day, you do what feels right for you. But I know for me, finding that flow is really special to me and really therapeutic. In the spirit of winging it, you will see that I do use quite a bit of the masking technique, and all I'm doing is just taking a piece of scrap paper and covering / masking the area that I don't want to be inked, and then going ahead and inking right on top of that scrap piece of paper. And then once you lift it up, it's perfect. It just got the stamp and the impression on the area that you would like. Building clusters is one of my absolute favorite things. Now, I don't often think through what that cluster is going to look like. I typically, have those supplies that I want to use on my desk, and then I just add to it. So, for example, what you saw here with the circle, I went ahead and I just snipped the left-hand side of that circular element, and I will do that often. I actually did that to the flower sticker that is right there underneath that photo of the bouquet of flowers. Now you can just trim it and butt it directly up to your photo, so it will look like it was already put there and you just placed your photo right on top of it, but actually it's just you adding on to those clusters as you build your layout. Right now I am working on the left-hand column, and I have lately been using this column to document moments from the week that do not specifically tie to a certain day. Now, as you can see, I don't really use the grid too much in this layout. I have some photos that I do put on this specific day that they happen. Like, for example, on Wednesday I did get the happy mail from Coco Daisy, and I did want to document it on that specific day. Same thing with the flower bouquet from my partner. That was my birthday, so I wanted to specifically put it on that day. But I've been using this column to document those highlights of the week that aren't super specific. Another tip that I have for you, which I think is specifically great for this time of our lives, living through the pandemic, that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I have nothing going on, what can I document? Something that I have really enjoyed documenting, not necessarily like COVID statistics or COVID headlines, you totally could, but I've been wanting to include some positive things that are going on in our country right now. So I have included a screenshot of a New York Times headline that I wanted to remember. There was also a important DACA ruling that was announced this week too, that I will also include in that journaling. So having these national events paired with my daily life and the events of my family, I think really tie in really nicely together and just really are a perfect snapshot of life right now. And friends, we are at the final stretch of this layout. I'm going to date my pages. I am using a brand new to me stamp set from scrapbook.com. I'm using the Cement Studio Calico ink to overlap these great digits over the days of the week. And voila, with the power of editing, if only I was this fast in real life, I am done stamping out the days of the week. I'm going to go ahead and add just a few more details to the layout. I'm going to add a bit more stamping, and then off camera you will see in the final snapshots I do add some more stamping and some stickers from the sticker book from Heidi Swapp. Additionally, I do add some colorful boxes stickers from a Happy Planner sticker pack. And here is a look at the final product. I absolutely love how this one turned out. These colors make me so happy, and I just really love the monochromatic look. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I've listed the link to Rachel's video that she has over on her channel for Memory Planning Monday using the exact same Heidi Swapp storyline chapters. I definitely recommend going to check her out. She is so incredibly talented, and I know you do not want to miss out. I want to thank you for joining me today in this process video for my memory planner. I really had a blast creating this spread and sharing it with you all. If you have any questions for me in regards to memory planning or my process, please go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Additionally, if you have any suggestions for themes or like products that you want to see utilized in a memory planner, please be sure to let me know in the comments below. Rachel and I are totally up to different ideas, and we want to show you how easy and versatile it is to get started with memory planning or to take your memory planner to the next level. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in seeing more content similar to it, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day and make some time for yourself.